All right. Now, good morning, everyone. Uh, welcome to another dating Q&A live. I just keep ranting until any of you guys ask a question. So another day, another interesting timeline. Uh, I posted this morning that we're not really as worried as we should be about a world war or what's going on, and that most of the time, whenever something like this happens, everyone's telling you to worry because it's more about neuroticism, and that neuroticism has been given to you by the by your our mothers, and absent, weak, or just equally feminized fathers. And one of the things that my father taught me growing up is just not to worry so much, especially about things that you can't change. And that's something our father should have taught us uh, growing up. Can you change it? No, then it's not your problem. But we have this control fantasy over everything, and that's really like something kind of women do, is that they want to control everything. If women were control of everything, there'd be a it would be a police state, right? Because of everything would be free from danger, and you need a lot of control and all that to make everything um that way. So, guys want to pretend like them caring is some kind of like patriotic or like deep, intelligent, intellectual thing. But the truth is, what is useful about caring about something that you have zero control over? The only thing you should worry about is how this is going to affect your finances, which it will not affect it that much. The stock market is not crashing. Um, Things are still being delivered. Gas prices are still, for now at least. And even if they weren't, then you would be spending time trying to fix those things. Like, how do I get around high gas prices? How do I get around the stock market? How do I get around this? How do I get around that? And ultimately, that's all you got. Yeah, that's all you got. You shouldn't really be worrying about uh what who bombed who. Now, if it's this interest of yours, if you're interested, like you are interested in military operations, you are this kind of stuff is entertaining to you, then of course, yeah, who am I to tell you? But if it's something that you should be worrying about, like legit, like, I have to worry about this. Why? It's not your problem. That's the difference. And that's more of that programming that people think they're trying to disguise it as one thing, and then it's actually another. Like, we're disguising patriotism, and we're disguising neuroticism with patriotism and intellect, and that's the problem here. It's not, right. Patriotism is just, you like your country, like, you don't there's nothing more, nothing less. And what is, like, you being worried about what other world leaders do constantly, um when we haven't had an attack for 24 years on our soil, right, is is a waste of your time, and you have better things to worry about, better things to do. And right now, uh, you know, we have we have our own problems, right? The bombings and all that stuff, that's the president's problem. That's the administration's problem. Your problem is to put food on the table for yourself, those you care about, if they are in your life, and just continue to live life and be happy. That is your problem. What's up, Rob? What's up, Danger? Nice to see you guys. So yeah, that's my take on that. I don't know why everyone got, like, I mean, not everyone, no one really cares, but the truth is, like, we're people are using our neuroticism against us, like, content creators, all that stuff. Neuroticism is something that people are making bank off of. Like, if you seriously think that you should be taking podcasters or newscasters, whoever, seriously, about the end of the world, right? Then where do we even begin, right? So at the end of the day, you don't want, um, at the end of the day, you don't want to worry so much. You got better things to worry about. Live your life, man. Because yeah, maybe you'll get drafted. Who knows, right? Like we're not even close to a world war. Not even a little bit. But if you think you're gonna get drafted, what are you gonna do? Right? There's nothing you can do. It's a law. It's law, right? So think about this. What are things that you can change and focus on those? And then yeah, if you want to talk about um politics, yeah, it's fun to talk about, right? But realize that you worrying or you thinking that your opinion matters or on any of this stuff really is just a waste of time. You have to move on, right? So reporting live on my day off with the pack in hand. What do you mean pack? What do you mean by pack? Oh, thanks, little Joker, for reposting the stream. So yeah, that's something that I talked about yesterday. Um, yeah, you're a neurotic mess. Like guys are neurotic messes. Could you let's see. Let's see what else. We have a girl here that said the hottest thing a man can be is exceptionally good at math. Well, translating womanese is interesting, right? Because a lot of guys that it's really where men kind of you separate the boys from the men in terms of understanding women and what they really mean. Because what they say is never really what they mean. So if a girl says, like this woman said, "Hey, I like a guy that's good at math," it's just like, "You sure? What do you mean?" Guys will be like, "Oh, like I'm an engineer or I'm a mathematician or I'm a physics major," you know. Uh, and the thing is, women. There's several reasons why women kind of like spit out these what do you call it? These standards and all that stuff. So if you guys see here, uh, Lauren Self, the hardest thing a man can be is extremely good at math, right? The hottest thing, right? Not the muscles, not the money that obviously women respond to. They just they want to be experts. They saw a guy that maybe they went on a date with a guy who was an engineer but hot, and then maybe he somehow explained some mathematical thing and incorporated into his game. Yes, but uh, the truth is, women say things, but if you dig deeper, or if you just think for a second, look at why she's saying that. You have to understand women on a base level first, and you have to understand this most important truth about women. What they say and what they do is often not the same thing, right? It is often not the same thing, right? So if a woman says the hottest thing a man can be is exceptionally good at math, what she's really trying to say is I want a guy with a good career because most people that have jobs that incorporate math, right? They um they are not uh they are doing well, like, or at least they have a good job, or they're known for having good jobs, like engineer, uh any type of engineer, doctors, whatever, what have you. These people tend to make good money, right? And because they're STEM fields. So what guys will be confused about is like, oh well, then let's start talking about math on a first date, or like let's talk about math and all that stuff. And the truth is, no. What she's saying is, I want a guy that's makes good money. And again, another reason you need to understand women is because why is she saying this? Always ask the why. When she was 21, do you think she was banging dudes in her math class or on the math team or whatever? No. Was she seeking this out on her campus? Like, did she put in her profile only want to date guys good at math? No. What she's saying is, I'm at the point where I am out of options and I have to start thinking about settling down. And in order to settle down, a uh, in order to settle down, I need a guy with a good job with a promising future. So yeah, my question is, have you trademarked? What's your plan? Yeah, I should trademark it at this point, but who knows? Hope you're well, Nick. Like the video, boys. Thank you. Thank you. Like the video, and we won't send the Frieza Force to your home. Man. Able to drop in this morning. Hey, what's up, Matt? Matt's statement is framing language to see if you jump through or how you address it. Yeah. Women, you remember, women are frame masters and uh, men are frame children. Women set the frame and are like, if you're like this, then I will have sex with you. It's like almost like Refoot's Law, where women promise a future sex or intimacy for things that you have to give her now. So if you say, hey, get good at math and if you're smart, mommy will give you a chance. But the truth is that's not how it is. Women do not care about these things unless it can benefit her. So what she's saying is, I like a guy that's good at math that will translate into comfort for me. So math skills, how can you stick the landing by 27 through 29? Yeah. Yep. So um let's see what else. Yeah, so my response was I want a man to explain integrals and series with me on a first date. No. I want a man with a lucrative STEM job because I am at the age to settle down. Yeah, that's what she means. Um for every girl you meet, some dude somewhere has dudes everywhere. Yeah, this is another big thing that Forward Playboy hits on all the time. It's hey, guys, when we say assume all women are promiscuous but don't obsess, there is a certain complex of actions that women go through with men they're attracted to. One of those things is sending them nudes, right? And it could be worse. It could be videos. It could be everything. And as you know, guys, us men, we don't really delete nudes or videos. We keep them saved in a hard drive somewhere, in a cloud somewhere, or in an old phone. But we still have them, and we never delete them because it's just like trophies or memories for us, right? So when you guys are dating girls, there's other men she's hooked up with in the past that have her nudes. So just like you have a lot of girls' nudes. So just get used to it. But I'm not saying this as a black pill, right? Because who cares, like she's with you now. But at the same time, we need to start knocking the shade, the blue pill lens off of guys' faces with this knowledge. Your girl isn't a perfect little angel. She's had a past, right? What you're worried about is if that past is going to affect your future with her, and um, whether you're getting her sexual best or not, and that's all. And that's all you can really, that's all you can really do. Stop putting your woman on a purity pedestal because they're not pure. Let's see. Uh, Shakira's ex-husband PK on why he cheated on her. I want to be faithful to myself. Yeah, I mean, I might do a whole show on this, but Shakira, and hopefully I'm saying that PK. Uh, there's a big age gap relationship. She was the older one. She had to really use her status and all that stuff to get a younger football star. I think they had kids, a kid or kids, and he just said, why he cheated on her. And it's no surprise, the guy is a handsome football legend or star, and she's aging out. I'm not saying that's like morally that's correct. It's not about morality here. We're not. This is not a moral argument. This is essentially um the frame and the delivery of this was pretty interesting because he said, "I want to be faithful to myself." It sounds a lot like when women say, "I chose me." When you use women's tactics and language against them, right? The internet kind of either applauds because there's a lot of men that kind of see this as a funny, sarcastic dig at women, or a lot of guys find it disgusting. Like, well, that's not what a real man says. Men shouldn't cheat. A real man doesn't cheat. But the truth is, when it comes down to it, you being selfish and going after you want as a man, it's like taking morality out of it and all that stuff is more it's not always going to be accepted by society. As a matter of fact, most of the time, society is going to think you're crazy or something's wrong with you if you choose yourself, right? So he said he wanted to be faithful to himself. What does that mean? That means he just wanted to go out and do whatever he wanted, and he is a football star. He has the power, and yes, a lot of people are going to look down on him and all that stuff, but he didn't care. He's like, "Hey, this is what I want," and he got with another chick. I think they broke up recently again, but that that's 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 the life of a man that puts himself first. He's going to piss off people. He's going to gain the hate of fans or the fans of the other person, but eventually he is going to be happy because he put himself first, and that is the cost of putting yourself first as a man. Sometimes is that you're going to make enemies. People are going to think you're a bad person. But how like we can't do this forever. We can't just constantly put women first all the time, and it drives us crazy. There's going to be times in your life where it's either you or her, and if it's going to be harder to choose. Like a lot of guys can be like, "Yeah, I'll do whatever I want," but like it's harder when you're in love with the woman. It's harder when she has your kids. It's harder when she has done nothing wrong, but you still choose yourself first. And at first, it's going to be very painful. There's going to be a lot of anger. Women are very entitled to men's commitment, right? Especially after a certain age. So she's gonna be like, there's gonna be shaming language, like grow up, and I'm not getting any younger myself, blah blah blah. But at the same time, once that's over, you're going to end up with a better outcome because you put yourself first. It's just going to be like, you're going to be running, going through the trenches for a little while because the backlash of you doing what you want as a man is often seen as um uh kind of strange or just selfish, which it is. But you have to be what you have to do what you have to do. I've quit a job. I quit a job in 2020 where I wasn't treated well and I didn't like it, and I wanted to come to Dallas. And when I quit the job, I was like, okay, these people probably want me out too because I just wasn't motivated anymore. And they all seemed like it was like a funeral when I went to the office to turn in my laptop and my truck and all that stuff. It was like a funeral in there. And I'm like, wow, when you're selfish, it's almost like a tragedy in everyone's life. And that's probably what it was for her family. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, right? But when a man chooses himself, it's often a tragedy for everyone else, right? You may choose, hey, I'm going to move to this city or I'm going to do this, and your parents and everyone are going to have like a day of silence because you chose to do whatever you wanted. And the whole world is like, how could he be that selfish? Like how? This is insane. But the truth is like you picked yourself and it's going to hurt people. And what do you want? You want to live your life in service to others, sacrificing for others, or do you want to be happy? And sometimes you got to hurt other people in order for you to be happy. And that's being your mental point of origin. And that's one of the hardest things as a man because we don't want to be mean, we don't want to hurt people, but we also want to be happy. And that is where men struggle the most. And that's why they hide behind the whole sacrificing for others thing as being noble because they don't have to face the scariest question of all, and that is, what do you want? And in this moment, right, he asked himself, what do I want? Do I want to be with this woman? Maybe she did nothing wrong. Maybe she did a lot of things wrong. But that's not the point here. Like you're not supposed to a woman being there being nothing wrong with the woman you're with is not an excuse to not put yourself first. Even if she's perfect. If you are with a woman who's done nothing wrong, she's great, she's awesome. But one day you wake up and you say, I don't want this anymore, then you don't want it. Like it doesn't matter. Like you don't need to be with a woman that's good or bad in order to make that decision. It is completely apart from her. Stop including her in your calculations. Yes, if a woman is so bad that it's literally unbearable for you to be with her, then yeah, it's like more of like a survival thing, right? But if a woman's okay or perfect and you still don't want to be there, then you're going to, you don't. sh- There is no uh it's not gonna you're not gonna change. You're still gonna want something more. So if you do this, it will hurt at first for both of you because you might feel guilt and she might feel like betrayed and all that stuff. And maybe she'll become a hoe or be bitter after that. Great. But the thing is, it's either you or her. And even if you choose her, what's to say in 5 years she doesn't become horrible, or you become miserable and then she becomes miserable, and neither of you are able to figure out why. This happens a lot. So, yeah. Let's see. It's me flexing with my dog. Me and him were actually matching. We got the orange pants and all that. Let's see anything more. Sydney Sweeney. I'm mad that Nukes said Sydney Sweeney is not perfect. Making broth. Okay, this already covered yesterday, but yeah, guys, and that's essentially being your own mental point of origin is so important because really it's the hardest thing. You know, like obviously you don't want to hurt people, you don't want to abandon people, but your happiness is number one. So don't let that deter you. And but you have to know what you want. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm not sure if I want to." Like you have to be very. And the only way you know what you want is over time. You have to. The only way you know over time what you want is you got to live life. You got to make mistakes. You got to like get in relationships, get out of relationships, because most often you've already been downloaded by society gynocentrism what you should want. You should want to sacrifice all your needs for the greater good, aka gynocentrism. That is what you've been. That is your base model firmware that you have in your system. As time goes on, you realize like, hey, I'm getting nothing out of this. Like I'm sacrificing, but I'm getting nothing out of this. And if I am, it's like almost nothing. I'm getting sex maybe once in a while. I'm not getting paid enough. I don't have time for me, whatever it is, or I want to do this thing, but everyone tells me not to do it. Whatever. You start realizing like people are constantly trying to tell you not to put yourself first or what you want first, even though you're fully aware, ready to accept the consequences. It's not a. They think, oh no, we're just trying to protect you or keep you safe from. No, and I'm like, no, that's the most manipulative thing. It's like the manipulative mother that doesn't want you to leave her and says, if you leave me, this will happen. You know, like this empty threat. Same thing with male sacrifice in the longhouse and all that. So, what ends up happening is you have to uh, that firmware, you have to kind of change it and update it over time. You get more and more updates until one day you're just like, I know exactly what type of girl I want, the career I want within reason, right? Uh, where I want to live, the type of relationship I want to have. I know all this. So yeah, like Todd is saying here, I want you to be safe and sound in this cage. And that's what really it is. Because if men were to organize, if men were to discuss about ways that they could be happy, that's an immediate threat to society. They don't want men to organize and discuss how to be happy, how to be they want them to organize to discuss how to be better men for women, but they don't like it when we discuss about how to get multiple women or run rotations or how to scam the system. Like, like I'm not saying, dodging taxes is illegal, but how to pay less taxes. Um, they don't like it when anything benefits only men, they don't like it. If anything, they're encouraging men to do things, and it's because women in some way benefit. And unless this changes, men are going to continue to sacrifice and give and feel empty inside. And they think they want things when in reality they want something else. Like there's men that think that having a relationship with a woman is going to be fulfilling and change their life and be a transformative experience in the babies and being a father. And I'm like, it's not, dude. It's just another part of your life. It's not something that changes anything. You still have a job. You still have goals. You cannot make your family your point of origin because first off, they can get taken away on a whim. And not only that, spectacularly taken away, like ruin your life in the process, ruining all the hard work you've done. Number two, um, you don't want to put that burden on your family, right? I think that's unfair. Like, hey, son or daughter, you're the reason I live and I'm alive. That's insane. Like, they don't deserve that. You should be like, hey, I love you, but I got to do me. And your kids will like you more because of that, because you're not putting this burden of, hey, you're the reason I'm happy, and if something happened to you guys, I would crumble and fold as a man, right? So that's not fair to your family, your kids either. So ultimately, um, you have to always be your mental point of origin, and sometimes that requires being selfish. And you'll realize that it's very popular amongst people for a guy to be chasing his dreams. Like people, or it's very attractive. Like people want to be around you. People want to experience your drive and be in you'll be around you because you're not putting your happy on anyone besides yourself. So you are in charge of your own happiness. So if we organize to be happy, less material things will be bought, and I don't make payments. Yeah, that's true. Like men, we don't like every day as especially as you get older, every day you realize you need less and less and less as a man to be happy. This is the crazy thing. Like yes, we have our things that we like to splurge on, maybe a good cigar, a good bottle of whiskey, our hobbies, whether it be a good like a gun, a firearm, or an expensive game. But that other than that, it really is like men that are happy and fulfilled spend so little money. It's insane, right? And that's also goes against uh, uh, the status quo. Frank, after being red pilled and making all the correct choices within that frame, there's a still good chance you might lose. How do you come to terms with that possibility? Well, every man gets zeroed out multiple times in his life. He's going to get zeroed out, and that's just the reality of life. But the thing is, here you have to realize that you've made it out before. What's different about this time? You've made it out before. What's different about this time? You've had nothing. You've built from the ground up. So what's different this time? You have to have that confidence that hey, you've survived up to this point. What else can be taken? Like what else can happen? That besides death and or a debilitating injury, what is the worst thing that could happen? So if I'm eating right and get to go to the gun range, enjoy my cigar, I'm good. Yeah, as a man, we're like that simple. We're super simple. Like every day, it's less and less. And even if we do spend on something expensive, we're pretty happy with the end result. Like I redesigned my apartment basically, and now that everything is pretty much okay, like it's gone. Like I don't. It's not like a perpetual thing. I need to be buying like furniture and shelves and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm done. And this is how it's gonna be for 2 years. I'm done. Like it's not a perpetual need to buy more and more and more. I like a cigar once in a while, and I buy it, and I'm cool. And then 2 weeks go by, and I call my friends and say, hey, "Let's go out, get cigars," and it's just easy, right? Women, especially young women, ask me like, "Why don't like traveling?" I'm like, "No, because what do I get out of it? Like, what? I go to the airport, I get treated subhuman. There's flight delays, cancellations. No one cares where I'm going. Like I post a picture of myself in a place and I get what 3 likes on social media. Um, and I eat the same food I would eat back home, and I have to wake up early, wake up late, drive through traffic. It's just spend on parking, tickets, extra luggage, bad food, um, room and board for my dog, and then spending money there, and then going back, and all I did was like have a very mundane experience of being somewhere else. Right? It's just something that never made really that much sense to travel. But some people they live for it, right? But most men, we're not even traveling anymore as much, right? The biggest group of travelers is single women, I think. So it's like it's a woman thing, right? Yeah, the hedonistic treadmill, and that's the thing too. That's another thing. Like I I like a good drink once in a while, but like I don't chase hedonism all the time. Like I don't need. I'm not looking to fill a void, right? And even if I am, sometimes I kind of recognize it. I'm like, all right, I've been doing this too much. Like maybe it's time for me to like kind of address this and all that. So yeah. But all right, guys, let's take a quick break. If you guys would like to leave a super chat, I'd appreciate it. Let's take a quick break. I'm gonna pour myself some pre-workout and we'll get going. All right, and we're back. Uh, cool. Guys, I just published another article on Substack about having a look and leaning into your celebrity look-alike. I'll post that here. It's a good article. One of my more favorite ones that I wrote. Uh, so I'll just put it in the chat real quick. Hold on. Here you guys go. There we go. That's a long ass link. I don't like that. Let me just give you guys a Substack link. It's better. There we go. Cool. Yeah, guys. Substack's doing well again. Thank you. So we're down to 20 articles left, and then it's done. I'll start working on getting it all together for a book. Um, yeah, it's been fun putting down everything I've ever known about dating on down on in black and white, and I think it's helped me become a much better content creator and organize my thoughts. You have so much stuff in my brain and all that, and yeah, I think looking back, it was an interesting journey. I got lucky because I was coming out of COVID and dating apps were on fire, but that didn't mean that there was some level of skill, understanding, and risk taking that I had to do with all this, and a lot of learning from dating from a very human side of women and men. Um, and I'm lucky to have had this experience. I'm at the point where like I've almost paid back for every date I've ever every dollar I've ever spent on dating. Not that I have an exact number, but it's interesting to see that like how much I would spend, but now my dating, my weekly dating expenses are now matching what I make on like YouTube or something, or YouTube and Substack. So yeah, Totem asks, "You're going to continue the Substack even after the 100?" Yeah, I'm going to continue writing, but it's going to be more. I don't know. I'm not sure what I would write about, but I think it's going to be less frequent, and it's going to be longer, more thought out essays, like much more in depth. Uh, but I don't know. What do you guys think I should write about? Same stuff or no idea. No idea right now. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But if you guys have any suggestions, I'll take them. Um. So yeah. What else? What else do I have for you guys? Oh, I have subscriptions on Twitter. If you guys don't want to use Substack, I have Twitter subscriptions, and I'll post one of my articles every week as a tweet. Um. And you guys can subscribe there and all that. But it's going to be a shame to lose your dating perspective, and you're one of the few young girls in space that talks about current dating market and how to navigate it. Well, yeah, everything's bombastic. Everything is, you know what it feels like though. It feels like some guys will teach you. They'll say, "Hey, like you got to be." They're more sociopathic, right? They go an extreme route because they're dealing with big female egos. And the thing is, um, not that it works or it doesn't work. I'm just saying that there's levels to this, and you can't just stay one, be an absolute psychopath with women. It doesn't work. You know, um, it's not congruent to a guy that's new at dating. He's probably very shy. He's probably, kind of very confused about what dating actually even is at this point. So it's not the best thing. However, um, there's also guys that take the whole feminized like therapy language approach. Doesn't work either. I am like, "Hey, this is exactly what happened. This is what worked. This is what didn't, and that's it. There isn't my ego is not in this. There's things that I wish worked, and there's things that I didn't. And when you go through it, through all my work, you'll realize that you can just feel the kind of like the pain of my ego just being stomped in certain stories and all that stuff, and how I had to like really more look at myself more than the women. because women aren't really going to change that much, right? Women are going to be who they are. They're not going to change for us, and the ones that do, uh, like you'll know, like it'd be less effort. But yeah, it's just the internet's very one or the other in terms of dating advice. And the guys that are giving dating advice, that's good. Since we're not super bombastic or we're not super, it's more like C-SPAN than it is um, Maury or Jerry Springer. And guys will watch shows like that and think there's some part of a collective of guys that get it, but the truth is you don't, right? And I know guys that don't know anything about the red pill that do pretty well with women. The red pill isn't just a lens, right? And the thing is, too, it's not like you read one book about red pill and then all of a sudden you can control the universe and you know anything. It's just like it's supposed to just give you a lens to which view the world, and from there you get to make a decision how you're going to use it. And you could use it. You could either use it to set your house on fire or keep your house warm. One or the other. It's up to you. So, all right, Todd. Then I'll just keep writing. I'll just keep writing. I mean, it's doing good. So, well, I'll just keep writing about it and all that stuff. So yeah. Hey Nuke, hope the finger's healing well. It is, sir. I get my pin taken out tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work this week, but I think after the pin's taken out, I'm going to be able to bend it. But the doctor said I won't be able to bend it day one. It's going to be very stiff. But once I once I do a little bit of therapy and give it some time, and I'll be able to bend it and do all these things with it. So hopefully it's not too painful. He's just gonna numb my hand and slide the pin out. So yeah, so yeah. All right, Todd M with the $5. You get one of these, sir.
Check your balls.
Oh, sorry. Todd M with the $5, just showing a little support. Hey, bro, you already showing me support by being a member, and thank you again for the extra $5. So, yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate the questions and the discussion. You guys were great this morning. And I'll keep doing these from time to time. I probably won't do one tomorrow because I have to go to the doctor early in the morning. But yeah, thank you guys for your support, and keep your eyes on the Substack. It's just going to continue until I get to 100, and then we'll go from there. But thank you guys for your support up to this time. I appreciate you guys' time this morning, and you guys have a good Tuesday. Bye.